there, and welcome back to Hold and Modify, YouTube's most shakiest cam, most poorly produced, underproduced Amiga channel out there. And I wanted to do something really conventional today with my 3000 down here. I know this is going to blow your mind, but I've got all the software on the wall, like my little Amiga store recreation thing I'm doing here. I wanted to actually, since this 3000 doesn't have WHD load on it, no, I'm not going to install WHD load. I kind of do that in another video, sort of. I just want to grab one of these box pieces of software, like Legend of Creandria. Why not that? Let's go ahead. Let's grab that. Maybe the floppies work, maybe they don't. I don't know. Let's find out together. This is the Q installs floppies into his 3000 experience so that you don't have to, or because you can't because you don't have it.
This computer will rule the world.
All right, the first thing we need to do, the Always Boots 3000. Does it live up to its name? There she is. There she is. All right, so here we are with the Always Boots 3000. And yes, if you look closely, you're going to see this is an 800 by 600 screen. If for those of you that don't recall, I have a Picasso 4 in this 3000 since I wanted to have some 24-bit output capabilities and RTG. And yeah, you're going to notice this pretty extreme smearing happening here. This is just one of the current remaining issues with my 3000. Yeah, it gets really bad over here on the sides. You can really see it if you zoom in maybe. I've tried multiple monitors. It's not the monitor. I've opened the 3000 up and I've tweaked the little pot on the amber chip to try and clean it up. By the way, that did help. That actually helped remove some jail bars. But I'm still getting this kind of slowly waterfall effect happening on the screen, and then yeah, the smearing. And I've tried the DB25 output, I've tried the 31 kilohertz output, and then obviously this is the Picasso's output, which is grabbing video information from the Amiga 3000's video slot. So that information it's getting has this kind of smearness in it. So yeah, it's not the Picasso 4. As I said, I've connected the monitor directly to the Amiga and I get the same smearing effect. Anyway, if you can look past that for now, let's try this little experience here. Installing a game using the original floppies. So yes, we have the amazing Legend of Creandria, Westwood Studios game, a classic company. They got their start early on. They may have even gone as far back as Commodore 64 games, but I know for a fact, yeah, they did have Amiga games back in the day. That's how they started. I, of course, as some of you may know, worked for Westwood Studios for a brief period, a couple of years. I was in the kind of the Command and Conquer Dune Emperors era of Westwood. I did some voiceover work on, I believe it was the add-on called Firestorm, and I did some work on some other games they made at that time, but it's just fun. This is a classic. I, of course, did not work at Westwood when this game came out, but yeah, they always have really great cover art and wonderful work. It was so awesome meeting all those people at Westwood who worked on these games and getting to meet them in person and actually see their machines. Really cool to see Deluxe Paint still being used in the early 2000s to clean up sprites. It was the PC version, the Windows version. So yeah, we all had these modern Windows computers, and yet there sat a artist using like an old 386 with Deluxe Paint on it to just do what he's always done, which is clean up sprites for the game. So let's get this open. So yeah, you get the beautiful table of contents here, and then the nice little book one, Fables and Friends here. That's nice. This little insert that holds all this stuff. So I love color manuals. Oh, color manuals are so great. That's fun. All right. And a big stack of discs, a giant stack. Now these are originals, okay? These aren't copies. Sometimes when I buy these old games used, the person will put in copies of the originals. I actually prefer that because that means they verified them that they work. Don't know if these work, so this could be a really short video. However, fingers crossed. And the original also comes with this big envelope that all of this stuff was stuffed into, and just gives you some help on that. And then, of course, if I get a little further in here into the box of toys, there is the big poster here that it comes with. And I remember seeing this at the Westwood Studios office when I worked there, hanging on the wall. That's so neat to see it. To see it here in the game box, of course. Fantastic. I don't know if any of this is showing up on camera properly, but you know, you get the idea. All right, let's start with the big stack. Now, what I'm going to do is kind of obviously just click through these for you. I'm going to show you the first couple, and then we'll just get through this. First, we need to organize them. Please, if you're going to be doing this too at home, organize your floppies. These are all out of order. That's so annoying. So our total floppy count for this install is 9. 9 disks. Yes, you can see it right there. And these are originals. And yes, they've all been sitting on top of a speaker. But the speaker is supposed to be magnetically shielded. So, yes. And, you know, these games are, well, copyright 1992. Don't have a lot of confidence these disks are going to work, but let's try it out. All right, I've switched just to floppy disk insertion mode, so you can see me go ahead and slide that in there.
Yes!
Well, we got lucky so far. It does actually read it. K1, here we go. So you can see here, you just kind of get this standard, rather generic looking installer. This is something they would have written themselves back then, or it is possible it could have been some code that was shared with others. And you go ahead to do this. Now, here we go. Here's our first thing. The Legend of Grandeur hard disk installation. There's not enough space on this drive to install. You must have 7 megabytes of space free. Press any button to continue. So why is that? Well, let's go to our, what it's probably trying to do is it's trying to unpack it directly onto the floppy drive. Now, there is a README that comes with this. Did I read it?
Are you serious?
Of course I didn't. I'm going to guess it's going to say something like you need to drag all of these to your floppy drive. All right. Hard drive installation. Your hard disk must have a bunch of, yeah, you got to have enough space. You need Workbench 1.2 or Kickstart 1.2 or greater. Yes, make a drawer in which you wish to install the game. Insert disk 1 into your floppy drive. Double-click on the disk 1 icon. Drag. Hey, Q, look at that. Reading instructions for a change. Drag the install icon to the open drawer you have made. Double-click the install icon and follow the prompt. How about that? See, you read the instructions, Q, and it really does help. Make a new drawer. We're going to call this Legend of K. LOK. Are you okay? I'm okay. LOK. Drag that in there. You know, I have no idea if this game even works in 3.2, but as many have pointed out, I need to go to AmiNet and get degrader so I can start running games on these newer config Amigas. So let's do what it says. Hey, look at that. Well, that wasn't such a chore, now was it? Look at this amazing font and color choices here. I love this. It's so pretty. 3000 dutifully copies the files. The floppy drive is chunking along down here, as we can see. Oh yes, look at the hard drive light activity. Oh, it's so exciting to watch that, isn't it? It's almost transmodic. Transhypnotic? I have no idea what I'm talking about, do I? I really don't.
I'm extremely confused.
So yeah, it is copying at the speed that it can copy. There's no progress bar, unfortunately. That's a little bit of a bummer, but you know, hey, we get what we can get. All right, insert disk 2. Here we go. Hard drive light is still flickering, by the way, when it says insert disk 2, but the floppy drive light is not. That is interesting. Okay, let me show you what I'm talking about here. So if you look down here, the floppy drive light is on solid. It's like, what is it doing? Is it just continuously writing to the drive until the next disk goes in? I'll leave you down here when I do this. And like I said, the floppy drive light is not on. Just the hard drive light is going crazy right now. Is this installing the ultimate virus? So there, we've put floppy 2 in, and now the hard drive light goes out. And we're back to copying the files. All right. A little weird. I don't know if that's normal behavior. I mean, if it is, then that's what it does then, I guess. See, isn't this so much more exciting than just doing WHD load? You get to experience what it was like. We got home, well, first, we got home from school, waited for our parents to get home from work. Then they took us to the mall, went to Babbage's or Electronics Boutique, and, you know, saving my lawn cutting money, I would run in there and I'd see what the latest and greatest was. I'd pick up this game. It would cost 30 or 40 bucks. Get it home, unwrap it, and this is what you do. Just turn on the computer and wait. Nowadays, you know, we do the same thing. We sit around and wait for downloads over the internet. We put in a game disc that we bought, and it still says, I need to download 17 gigabytes in files to play this game. Current modern gaming era really is just a disaster if you think about it. All right, disc 3. Getting lucky so far, no issues. Imagine doing this with a video toaster install where it's like 45 discs. And you try to do it with original discs. You see them on eBay all the time. Original disc sealed. Oh, great. I'm sure they all work wonderfully. And you pop the disc in and you get to like disc 23 and boom, it's dead. And it just stops. You're screwed. All right, so we're going to go ahead and skip ahead provided all these are working. I promise you, if I get a bad one, we will stop. Well, I promised you if we had any issues, we'd be back. Looks like we made it as far as disc 5, folks. And yes, sadly, we have hit the read error.
Bye-bye, dickhead.
Oh, it's how it goes sometimes. So with making sure it's not accessing the floppy, I'll go ahead and eject it. And one of the things we can try and do is give a look inside here. And you can try and spin the disc around to see if it's got any visible jank on it. And oddly, I don't see that it does. So this is a case of just the floppy's rotted, it's died over time, or sitting on a speaker may have killed this particular disc. Who knows? Hey, but you know what? It still exists in WHD load. We could play it that way. And I think there's even retro redos of this nowadays where you can do like DOSBox and play the PC version. Yuck. Well, hey, I do want to thank you for at least staying this long in the video and watching me go on my little adventure here trying to get this installed. I'm sorry it didn't work out. That is a little bit of a letdown. And if you're curious, well, you did get to disc 5, Q. Could you maybe launch it? Sometimes, yes. What some of these games do, it is actually data that's like in order, linear in time. But sometimes, though, that last disc contains stuff that needs to be put into the program code in order for it to even launch. And some programs require, yes, every disk to be installed because it's pulling data from all over. We can try, though. Nope, well, that does it for me this video. Well, hey, I couldn't leave you without gameplay footage, right? So I'm just going to go through here real fast and give you some awesome Legend of Crandria. Here's the opening title. And I'm really sorry if we've been able to actually install this, then yeah, you would have enjoyed this wonderful intro here. And let's go ahead and check out some other footage. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I'm done with this video.